And never share your meds with others.
A message from the San Juan County Partnership, 505-566-5867.
Hi, I'm Sam Payne, host of The Appleseed, an hour filled with stories for you and your family. And we're not talking about news stories here. We're talking about fairy tales and folk tales and personal stories and family tales and even a little music from time to time. And each story could spark a memory for you that you can share with the people that you love. Hear The Appleseed every Thursday at noon, right here on the information and cultural beacon of the Four Corners, KSJE, Farmington, New Mexico.
KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, here to meet your urgent and emergent medical needs, whether they are COVID-19 related or not. Medical emergencies happen when you least expect them, whether it's a stroke, heart attack, illness, or injury. San Juan Regional Medical Center's caregivers are here to provide care to you and your loved ones. Find out more online at sanjuanregional.com. Eleven minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Monday morning, September 13th, 2021. Good morning, everybody. I'm Scott Michlin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM over the air, of course, here in San Juan County, 103.3 FM over the air in Durango, Colorado, and streaming everywhere else on the planet from our website, ksje.com. Welcome also to our viewers who are watching this visual radio program. It is streaming live this morning out to the KSJE Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and our Twitter account. We're glad that you are with us this morning, everybody, because coming up, we're going to be talking about the Farmington Museum and the Farmington Museum Foundation. They have a big event coming up this weekend, Oktoberfest, and we'll learn more about it coming up in the next few moments with my guests here on KSJE. Then later on this hour, it's our Monday Reboot segment at 8:50 a.m. when I get to talk technology with my guest, Lewis Campbell from Synergy Computer Systems here in Farmington. That is coming up today at 8:50 a.m. on KSJE. Mick Hess will be here roving with the arts after the news, of course, at 9:06. Mick today is featuring music from the great Haydn. You'll hear that this morning on Roving with the Arts at 9:06. And, of course, don't forget about our Instagram page. In addition to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, you can connect with us on there as well. And we also want to remind you about our podcasts. If you're a podcast person, you can catch podcasts of this program and a lot of the other talk shows that we have here, the local programs that we have, on all the popular and favorite podcast apps for free. That includes iTunes and Spotify and Google Podcasts and Pandora and Amazon and Podbean, and there's so much more, but we're on all of them. Just search for KSJE and subscribe, and you'll get all the podcasts you care to listen to from time to time, but we want to remind you about that. Outside our studios here at San Juan College, it is 62 degrees this morning under sunny skies. We're expecting more sunshine today with a high this afternoon of 89 degrees. Clear tonight with a low of 56. Tomorrow mostly sunny with a high of 88 both Tuesday and Wednesday, and overnight lows, as you can see, in the lower 50s. 87 for a high on Thursday, 85 on Friday, mid-80s again for Saturday and Sunday, but overnight lows are getting cooler in the lower 50s this week. Well, let me introduce my guests who are here with me this morning, as I mentioned, from the Farmington Museum Foundation, an organization near and dear to my heart. We have the president of the Museum Foundation, Elliot Eberg, here this morning. Good morning, and thanks for coming in to KSJE. Great to have you here.
Thank you very much. We're glad to be here.
You are welcome. Also,
one thing we like to discuss is the museum, because that's a gem in the Farmington community.
No kidding. Very true. And Charlotte Eber is here as well. Good morning to you. Good to have you here.
Thank you. I am excited.
Thank you for coming in.
Yes.
Very good. Well, and I mentioned that you both are part of the Museum Foundation. Elliot, you're the president.
Yes.
And so, and the Museum Foundation, for those of us that remember, supports the activities of the Farmington Museum, and you have fundraisers from time to time, and the money that you raise goes to support exhibits and programs of the museum.
Yes, it does. We do put on functions to raise money, and it all goes to help pay for the fabulous things that come through as exhibits for our museum and for the people of Farmington.
Indeed, that's true. And as things start opening back up, I know the museum is probably looking at more exhibits, more traveling exhibits to bring in and display and things like that, right?
Yes.
And that brings us to our topic this morning, which is Oktoberfest, which is coming up on Saturday.
No, Friday.
That's Friday.
Friday?
Friday,
Yeah.
September the 17th.
Pardon me, and the date's right on the poster. I don't know how I could miss it. I apologize. Thank you. Friday night.
Oktoberfest in Germany is usually held in September. So this year we decided to do a September Oktoberfest. We couldn't last year because of the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And the year before we had our first one.
Yes.
This will be number 2.
Okay.
Lauderhouse Brewery
They're one
does
of
a
your...
special beer for us.
Nice.
They will be there. We have 2 food trucks that will be there. Heavy Burger, which sits outside of Lauderhouse. We've gotten good reviews. They make a bratwurst burger with sauerkraut. How much more German can you get?
You can't get much more German than
And
that.
there's a new pizza truck, Patzo's Pizza, close to the mall, and they're excited. Pizza
Okay.
and beer go together too.
I would think so.
They're excited about doing the Oktoberfest with us. For those people who don't drink beer, there will be soft drinks for sale.
Right.
So,
At those food trucks, right? You
Yes,
can do
at
that.
the food trucks.
But the beer will be special from Lauderhouse,
Beer
right?
will be
And so-
special. There will be several types of beer. The tickets for the event are $35 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
For your $35, you get your first beer free. And the first 200 people that buy tickets, the Lauderhouse has a special mug that you can get. The
free.
tickets are available at the museum and at Lauderhouse.
Okay, $35 a ticket.
$35,
It's a 21 and over event,
21 and over event.
and it's going to be at the museum,
Yes, out on the back patio.
which is a beautiful spot for an event like this.
By the river, what better
Yeah.
place can you have?
That's true. And so you've got the beer, you've got the food covered, but you've also got some music, right, Charlotte?
Yes, and that's Mick Hess is bringing his group.
We're familiar with him.
Yes,
Yes.
and Tone Fetz, their drummer,
Familiar
he's
with
going
him.
to be with them.
Good.
And they will be playing traditional German music.
Okay.
And we have room if you want to dance. And the last time we did this, we did have people dancing. And one of the things we see happening is people have a group of friends. They'll buy a group of tickets, and they'll go out there together and sit and have their beer and get great food and hear great music. Beautiful. Watch the sunset a little bit as it gets a little bit darker.
Right.
And in general, have fun. Plus, people meet new friends out there.
Well, sure.
It's
Well-
just a happy event.
Well, and I think anytime you have live entertainment, it's a great event because, it's great to hear music being performed live and, seeing people get up and dance, as you mentioned, and just to have that, and to be able to get out with other people again for a change. Boy, I mean, I'll do that for a while.
Isn't
That's
that the
true.
truth?
And we'd like to send a special shout out
Yes.
to the Connie Gotch Foundation because the Connie Gotch Foundation is sponsoring our German band and the German music. So we're grateful to the Connie Gotch Foundation for that.
That's great. And that, I guess, allows more of the proceeds from this event to go to the foundation.
Correct.
And that's a
That's
great
right.
thing, too. So that's wonderful.
And it's a good use of that money because you're helping the foundation to raise money.
Mm-hmm.
And because we don't have to include that cost of music in our money-making effort, then it helps us.
Sure.
And it just makes everything better.
Right.
And the tickets are available either at the museum in the gift shop. Lauderhouse has tickets. And if you know any member of the museum board, we all have tickets with us wherever we go.
Okay.
So you can get a ticket anywhere.
There you go. Can you get them at the door the night of the
Yes.
event? Can we come on Friday and
Yes.
just show up and...
Definitely.
Yes, you
definitely.
can.
Okay. That's good to know
And
as well.
we want as many people as possible to show up because the more people you have, the more fun they have interacting with each other.
Well, that's true.
And to help raise the money for exhibits
Mm-hmm.
during the festivities, we a couple of years ago started a 50-50 raffle. And people can buy for $1 a piece tickets for the raffle. Toward the end, we will spin the little cage all the tickets are in, and the winner gets half of what was bought for the raffle.
Okay.
The museum will take half.
Sure.
The person who wins will take half, and that's the benefit. If you buy 2 tickets at $70 and you win 200, you're ahead.
There you go. That's very true. So, good. That'll be
Well,
going on as well.
And I did
Yes.
want to mention, too, that the Connie Gotch Foundation purchased 20 tickets. They're giving those to the health professionals at the hospital
Oh,
as
nice.
a thank you for all the work they've been doing during this crisis, COVID.
Well, good. I hope they can get a way to come enjoy themselves. You know, that's the other thing, right?
Yes,
Yes.
that's true.
That
But
was-
I think something can be worked out.
I imagine they're working on it right now as we speak. That's very true. My guests this morning are from the Farmington Museum Foundation. We are talking about one of their fundraisers that is coming up this Friday night, Oktoberfest in September, and it's going to be at the Farmington Museum. And again, it's right there on East Main Street. If you haven't been out there, you should be ashamed of yourself, because the museum has continued to provide some great exhibits. We were just talking before we came on the air this morning about some great art exhibits that have been on the walls at the museum, and of course some of the other permanent exhibits that are there. And I know they have a lot more up their sleeve. I need to get Bart back on the program to talk to me about what he's got planned. But a lot of things going on in the Museum Foundation, which supports, of course, the programs and activities of the Farmington Museum, and that's what you two represent this morning. Talk to me a bit more about the foundation, because you were looking for members for the foundation too, right? We can join the foundation and support that way too.
We are always in search of new members for our foundation board. Members, people who would like to explore that possibility, can come to the museum and ask for information on how to be on the foundation board. We're looking for diversification. We're always looking for new members who have good ideas that will help the city of Farmington, because the museum is there for the citizens of the city.
True.
So the citizens ought to be on. It's a non-paid position. We're volunteers. The city of Farmington is so great because of all the people who do volunteer to do everything that the citizens do for the city of Farmington. So if people are interested in the foundation board, let us know and we can get in touch with you. The more people that we can have, the better. It's a kind of a 6-year commitment. You'd serve 2 3-year terms before you have to be off the board for at least a year, and you can always come back. But it's a good commitment to make. It commits to the city of Farmington and the cultural, all the cultural things that go on at the museum.
Very true. Very true.
And I would like to mention one other event that is coming up in September, and that's the Real Night at the museum.
Yes.
And that
right.
has always been very popular. It will be in conjunction with the antique tractor activity, and there is a plan. You know, as usual, they have a little hayride for the kids where they can ride with a tractor pulling. They're going to have activities, and they're going to be cross-cultural. We want to be sure that they get an understanding of a lot of the wide variety of things that are in this beautiful area.
Right.
So, and that's on the 25th of September,
Okay.
and it's in the evening, and that should be, I know the children look forward to it, and we heard they were very disappointed last year when it
I'm
was
sure.
canceled.
Well, that was one list of a long list of things we were disappointed about last year, boys, let me tell you. But
I know.
that, folks might remember the movies of the same name, Real Night at the Museum, and it's kind of based on that, when the
Yes.
characters would come to life a little bit. And so that's the idea, as I recall, that, you go and you might meet someone who moved to Farmington, or a pioneer who's out baking bread over an open
Right.
fire, or some of these other things, and the multiculturalness of it, too, with some traders and other things that are going on. So it's a great kind of living history exhibit, really,
Right,
if you
and
will.
it's hands-on. It's hands-on with the children.
Right. And that, I think, is there tickets for that event, or is it a free event? I'm going to put you on the
it's
spot.
free.
I think it is free.
Yeah, it's free.
It's a free
Right.
event.
And that's where some of our money goes for.
There you go.
That's most definitely.
Right.
And if people remember several years ago, we had a flamenco dancer perform. And we brought in an exhibit of flamenco dancing costumes, and people were able to try them on and the museum was full. Everybody was excited. And
Right.
that was the foundation money.
More of what the foundation
Yes.
has done. And now, Elliot, we talked a little bit about being on the board, but I also wanted you to talk, too, a little bit about just being a member of the foundation, because that's open to everybody, too, is it not? You don't even have to be on the board. You can just be a foundation member.
You can be a member of the Farmington Museum, and the membership start at $25 for an individual, and I don't remember for a family, because we generally have a higher, if you are a member, and I think it's $150 or $100. There is also a pass that we give that's a reciprocal agreement with museums all over the country, which you can use when you go on vacation to another city, and the admission to those museums are free.
Because you're a member of the Farmington
Because
Museum.
you're a member of the Farmington Foundation or the Farmington Museum.
Right. It's a great perk.
And we've used it when we go places.
Right.
And I think others have done that too. And it's a good thing to help out the museum proper. And then for the enjoyment of families who join, to go other places and be able to go into museums and other places.
And you also get discounts at the gift shop. And I don't know if anyone has been to the gift shop recently, but they have some of the most fantastic books that are regional, and books written by artists that live here, as well as information from the Historical Society. They have many of their books there, and you get a discount if you are a member. And even at $25, which is very, very reasonable, you will actually end up making more money if you travel and go to other museums
Right.
that are within that group. So it's a win-win for everyone.
It truly is. And I'll say this once, but Christmas is coming, everybody. So if you need gifts, some unique gifts are available at the Farmington Museum store. It's a great resource.
Yes.
I've shopped there for my holiday gifts for years, and you can find some really unique things. Those books notwithstanding, there's some wonderful books about the history of parts of San Juan County, which are amazing. And as a history buff, I eat them up because I think they're
It's the only
wonderful.
place where you can find them.
Right? That's very
And
true.
we do our Christmas shopping there. Our kids love it. It gives them a taste of what's going on up here.
Right.
Also, if you want to know what's going on in Farmington, you go to the museum. They have a wall full of brochures to let you know restaurants, everything
True.
that's going on.
Right. Well, and that's part of the Convention and Visitors Bureau, which
Yes,
is
it is.
located in the same building, but they do a lot of promotion of the local area for visitors and residents alike, and so that's important as well. And the other thing I wanted to mention, too, about the museum membership is while the museum is free admission, which is a shout out to the city of Farmington that continues to keep that free to the citizens, and I don't think they have to do that, but they want to do that. But when there is a traveling exhibit or a big exhibit that's coming in, many times if you're a member of the Museum Foundation, you get a discount
Yes, you
on
do.
that special exhibit because you were supporting the museum, and that's another reason to be a member if there weren't
That's-
enough already.
That's correct. When we do have traveling exhibits, there generally is a fee, but it's nominal, $4, $5, or $6. But if you're a member of the museum proper, you can get a discount on that.
Right.
So unfortunately, the last time we had a big exhibit was the NFL Hall of Fame exhibit that got shut down because of COVID, but there were discounts for that.
Right.
And it was a phenomenal exhibit
Right.
from the NFL Hall of Fame.
It was great, and I think because of COVID too, it got to stay here a bit longer than it was planning to as well.
It was
And
going to
so-
be here about 6 months and ended up about a year and a half.
Right.
Because
How
it
about
couldn't
that?
go anywhere.
That's right. Nobody else was open either.
So we stored it,
Yeah,
and we had people come.
folks got to see it when we were
Yes.
could open. So
and that was a good thing.
indeed, that's
And if you're a
great.
member, you also will get a newsletter, and that newsletter will apprise you of all of the things that are there now and what's coming.
Right.
So it keeps you in line to know what's going on.
True. which is very important as well. And so it's a great resource. Again, you two, I think, coming here from another community. 7 years ago, you were telling me, but you've seen, I think, how important it is to support the museum and to have it in the community and have an active museum and the cultural scene to be able to attract new visitors, new residents, maybe to Farmington, retirees, who knows who's coming. But I think if we want to attract folks to our community, having a healthy and vibrant museum is an important thing to have.
There's no doubt about it. And there are people who will just pass and see it, and they'll come in and they're amazed at the quality of that museum. We've had people that were vacationing in other places around Farmington, and they saw, well, wait a minute, you've got this exhibit, and they came in to see it. And I think they had their children with them. They were so excited. They said, we didn't know about all of this. It is kind of a hidden special gem. And people are beginning, and I think even outside of this community are beginning to realize that Farmington does have a great deal to offer.
That's true. Very true. And I know in years past we've had a great traveling art exhibit that has come. There were some Jackson Pollock examples in that exhibit, as I recall, and we had folks from Santa Fe who were coming to Farmington. And no offense, Santa Fe, but sometimes you have a little bit of attitude. And for them to come to Farmington to see art, I think, was very telling, and it was exciting to see and hear them exclaim how excited they were that Farmington's museum had this quality exhibit.
And there have been times when, of course, because of COVID, we couldn't, but there are a lot of things that you can do with the museum, like take trips to places like Antelope Canyon.
That's right.
And in areas around Farmington to see the culture. A couple of years ago, we went on one of them, and I think it was to Antelope Canyon. We had some people from Germany that were here who were staying in Farmington, and they were thrilled to go out and see part of the South. In Europe, the southwest part of the United States is something that people want to come here and see.
Well, they don't have anything like it.
No, they have nothing like it. So
in
these
Asia
people,
too.
Yes, these people from Germany had a ball that day when we went.
It was 6 people.
Yes.
They filled the van.
That's wonderful. Well, and the other point too, I think, is to go to see these great places with somebody who knows what we're looking at too, and that's always great because these are kind of guided tours.
Yes,
Definitely.
they are.
And so they're not just dropping you off and saying, here you go.
You have a good guide, and you thoroughly learn about the things, the places and the cultures that we have around here.
Definitely.
Which are phenomenal.
Right in our own backyard, literally.
Yes.
In our own backyard, for
And
sure.
there's the Bistai at night.
Yes.
That always sells out.
Right.
And that's a beautiful, very special thing to do. I know Elliot and I did it. We have been through the Bistai during the day and at night, and you need to see it both places.
Both times,
changes.
yes. Right.
It changes.
And I'm not sure if I would trust my sense of direction to go by myself at night, but I'd
No.
go with a tour at night.
Yes.
You never go there by yourself at any time.
Yeah, no, that's true.
We discovered that.
Yes.
But going with the guides that
Sure.
can take you, you really have a sense of what Farmington was like when you go to the Bistai and you see dinosaur footprints and you see trees that have fallen over that are petrified wood, and you have a geologist and a guide with you that when you ask how old this is, they tell you about 73 million years, and you feel very small. And you understand that where we live in Farmington used to be a marsh and was underwater
Right.
till the water receded.
That's right.
So, and then all this happened.
That's
and
true.
if anyone has questions, they can come to the Oktoberfest because members of the board will be there. We'll have pins on. And if you want information on activities, on how to be on the board or how to become a member of the museum, please grab one of us and we'll be glad to sit down with our beer and talk to you.
There you go. See,
Yeah.
there it is. And let's remind everybody about this big fundraising event for the
Yes.
Museum Foundation on Friday, September 17th, 5 to 8 p.m.
Yes.
Kind of on that back patio, the beautiful spot
Yes.
of the museum there on East Main Street. And you've got beer from Lauderhouse will be there, and then you'll have food trucks.
Yes.
Yes.
And I will tell you, the last time we did this, we went through 4 different kinds of beer because they had to bring in more beer.
Well,
And
right.
everyone was talking about, I like this one better, but no, this is different. It's a chance to try different beers, talk about it, and they make a very good product.
Sure.
They really do.
Well, I think, yeah, they've been quite successful.
Yes.
I think since they opened a couple of years ago, COVID notwithstanding, and so it's great to have them out and about again and
yes.
helping with this event. They're a great partner for you, I think, to make this happen. You can't have an Oktoberfest without beer.
No. And the beer goes pretty fast, and they had to bring more in, and they will bring more in as needed. There will always be some flowing.
Okay, that's
But
important.
it may be different.
Right, that's a good point. And the other point I wanted to ask you all about that you mentioned earlier is there's a free mug for the first 200.
Yes.
Is it the first people?
The
first
first
200
200
tickets?
that come in with
Come
their
through the
ticket.
door, the gate. Okay,
Yes, with their
and that's a
ticket.
mug that they can take home.
It's theirs.
Yes.
It's a glass mug.
Yeah.
It's a nice mug.
Okay, very good. So
And the
that's
free beer, every ticket has a free beer. That there's a little stub on the ticket. You tear that off. We tear off the main
Yep.
piece. Give them the little one, and when you take that little stub, you give it to the booth with Lauderhouse, and they'll give you a free beer.
that's the $35 ticket gets you
That's
in plus
right.
your first beer, and that's
And a
what-
mug if you're among the first 200.
and the mug, which is important. And again, it's a 21 and over event. So if you're
Oh,
not
yes.
over 21, you probably won't be able to come.
No.
So, but that's all right. And then food and music and dancing too. You've
Yes.
got 2 food trucks coming.
And they are great
Yes.
food trucks.
Uh-huh.
And they're fast, and that's important.
Right, right.
And they are excited about coming too.
Good, very good. And then the music. Remind us again, Mick Hess, Tone Fetz, and
Yes.
a bunch of other German-sounding musicians will be
Yes.
It'll be their group. It's I think they have 5 musicians.
Okay.
And they enjoy this too.
there. Well, I would think
You
so.
know. This is a
Musicians and
party.
beer, come on. Yeah, that's a natural. I understand.
That's true.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you both for coming in this morning to talk about this event and the museum. It's, as I said, a special place in my heart. It's a great gem, as you said,
Mm-hmm.
for the city of Farmington, and we love to see it doing well, and
Mm-hmm.
can't wait to see more exhibits coming in and more activities at the museum.
And there will be.
Good.
Yes. Thank you.
You're very
There will be.
welcome.
There are, in the city of Farmington, the gems of Farmington are the museum and San Juan College and the library.
Well, I think that's
And
And the
those,
Children's Museum.
and the Children's
Yes.
Museum.
right.
So,
of course. We're
anything we can do to help the community, that's what we're here for.
We're fortunate to have all these gems in our community, and we're
Yes,
glad to
we
be a
are.
small part of the college. So thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks for the work that you two do as volunteers to support the museum through the foundation.
We love it.
Great.
Yeah, it's fun.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you both for
Thank
coming
you.
in. My guest this morning from the Farmington Museum Foundation on KSJE. KSJE is proud to support the 41st Annual Cancer Walkathon. The event supports the Connolly Hospitality House in Farmington. Registration begins at 7 a.m. on Saturday, September 18th. The walk begins at 8 a.m. at San Juan Regional Medical Center. Walkers raising at least $50 receive a T-shirt. Find out more online at sanjuanmedicalfoundation.com. The 41st Annual Cancer Walkathon, Saturday, September 18th. KSJE is supported by the Farmington Civic Center, bringing a wide variety of live entertainment to the Four Corners. Country music, classic rock, and ballet, all on stage this fall. Also, on-stage theatrical performances of The Rocky Horror Show and the holiday classic A Christmas Carol. Find out more online at fmtn.org/shows.